What is the problem with Chelsea? Bro, we Chelsea fans abroad and in Kenya and in Africa. Chelsea has a problem, but the problem with the Chelsea fan base is that it takes time for people to accept that your club has really dropped to a level of where they can host a team in the Champions League and still concede 3 goals and without any response. I've looked at Chelsea's squad for the past two to 3 years. Chelsea is sticking with Pedro Neto as their first choice winger. That just shows you how much Chelsea is relaxed to be at that non-competitive level where you can just lose games and have players who cannot give you positive results, or players who cannot make you compete for major trophies like the Champions League, the Premier League. Having Pedro Neto as a first choice winger, do you know how many goal contribution Pedro Neto has his entire lifetime at Chelsea? They don't even pass 50.
And their first
then you
goalkeeper.
Add of the squad.
And their first goalkeeper, Sanchez.
Sanchez was good at Brighton, but
Sanchez has been conceding silly goals.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine at Chelsea, a club like Chelsea, with that amount of caliber, and you bring in players who are just players for the sake of being players. For example, Alejandro Garnacho. What does he even do with that squad? What does he even do? Those people just wear boots and socks and the jerseys to come onto the pitch, but no performance day in, day out. You have very brilliant players, but instead of adding more competitive talents that can make you compete for major trophies in Europe or maybe in the Premier League, you people go for players like you are just signing in players to fill the squad for you people to be called a football club. But Yashile, what was he even doing at Chelsea? But Yashile came in. Who was this guy? Tosin. Fofana, ever injured. We've got Colwill.
Average players like Gittens.
A little bit decent. Rhys James is one of the best players, but he's been nursing so many injuries of late, so he's not so reliable to the squad, and he's almost like adding nothing to the squad. So yesterday, results against Paris Saint-Germain, it was humiliating from a Premier League club like Chelsea. We expected something else. At least we even expected something. At least you would have dominated the game and lose. We would have said Chelsea were trying, but they were not just clinical. You were dominated overall. You were doing nothing.
Overall performance for Chelsea was poor.
That was very poor from a Premier League club that is contending for top 4. To go back in Europe and get humiliated again, you people should focus with the Premier League and Carabao Cup. I don't know which cups you are in, but I think you should focus with the Premier League first, because this is so embarrassing. United are getting into the Champions League, so next season you might be seeing. In fact, Champions League might make more money because the biggest club is coming to participate in Europe. So we will be there. Subscribe to S.M.S. This is S.M.S, but Chelsea fans and Chelsea players, pull up your socks.
We are suffering.